Hey, so we have Kate with us today, and I really want to start with right at the beginning, Kate. Can you tell me a little bit about your schooling days?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks firstly for having me on today, Vish. It's been a real pleasure and a real honour to be here. So thank you so much.
No worries.
Yeah, first question. All right. So schooling days. So I was born and raised Essex, England, and I went to primary school at a very small school just in the local village. It was called High Roding, and I always enjoyed school, but I enjoyed school probably for all the wrong reasons. And I loved my social circle. I loved the breaks that we used to have, like morning break, lunch break, and I used to love the after school classes. So you can probably tell that from a very young age, I've always been very active. I've
Hmm.
really enjoyed being around people my whole life. But when it comes down to the academic side of things for me, it's been a real, real struggle. And that's been from a very, very young age when I first started school. And then I remember as I kind of went through the years at school, I started to get some assistance and some help because obviously mum was turning up at school parents evening, and they were just saying like, she's fallen behind, she's struggling, she's got a great personality, she's good with all the kids out in the yard, but her academic side of things, she's fallen behind big time. So basically, where we started with that was they gave me extra assistance at school. So I used to have a helper that basically helped me. And then when I was doing exams, I was allowed to have a little bit of extra time. And I was allowed to have extra assistance at school. Amazing teacher that worked with me at the school. Her name was Mrs. Oakley. She was phenomenal. And as you know, I've just come back to the UK, back to my tiny little village life here. And someone did say to me that Mrs. Oakley is still around, so I'm yet to see her, but I would definitely, definitely love to touch base with her and let her know that I've ended up becoming a professional boxer now. So who saw that one coming? Not me.
Oh wait, that's insane. But what is it about school that you didn't enjoy? Like, what was it that just didn't kind of click with you?
I just really struggled. I felt as though I was different to all the other kids. And obviously now I'm older and I have a much more of a better understanding of, who I am and how I function as a human. Things such as ADHD and stuff like that, they were not spoken about back in the day. Like my days
Yeah.
at school, if you said to someone, this child has got ADHD, no one would have a clue on what you were talking about. So nothing like that ever really got diagnosed.
Hmm.
Later on in my schooling years, as I went to secondary school, mum started to get me help with a tutor. I really, really struggled with math. And I think a lot of that was due to the numbers jumping around and obviously having dyslexia as a child. Things like the number 5 and the letter F. Like I used to get a lot of those things like really mixed up and really
Hmm.
struggle with my numbers. But I had years and years of tuition that my amazing parents put money into to try and help me sort of get my grades up. And, even at the end of school, like I came out of school not with good grades in math, considering the amount of money, time, energy, and effort. Yeah, it was nowhere where it needed to be, unfortunately. But, I guess God had a different plan, right?
100%. Like that's actually quite incredible because I've also got like ADHD and OCD, so I fidget a lot, and it's crazy because like a lot of people will think, oh, he's not paying attention or he's looking somewhere else or whatever else, but actually I just fidget. But my
Yeah.
like that person will have my undivided attention, but I can't stop moving. So I've got a little. It's gonna sound so silly, but I've actually got my best friend here. There's a little smiley face.
Usually on all my interviews, I have a
Yeah.
pen because it's my secret. I'll have my hand down here and I'll be secretly playing with the pen, and it
Exactly,
just
yeah.
somehow helps to relax me. So I can
Yeah.
totally relate, Vish. Totally.
100%. And that's
I'll put the
literally
pen
what I
down
do.
now.
It's hilarious. But it's crazy how, back in the day, ADHD wasn't actually a thing, was it? It was kind of like just that person's a nuisance or that person's just an inconvenience or the
It
class
was a naughty
clown.
child that wasn't
Yeah,
listening in the classroom. That's what it
exactly.
was. There was no diagnosis. It was just, she's a good girl, but she's not putting her head down and listening in class. And it's not
Yeah,
because, like you say, we don't want to listen. We're impulsive. We've got 600 different things going on in our brain at one time. And
exactly.
with
Yeah.
ADHD, it's the process of how quickly that gets, taken out of the memory. Like, don't class me on this, I'm not a health professional. But with ADHD, from what I've read and the background that I've done on it, we have so many different thoughts going into our head at one moment. We all do as humans, but someone with ADHD, that thought then has to be sort of like erased and go into like a storage place. But what happens with us with ADHD is, as I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a backlog of storage. So for the normal human got one thought going in, one thought going out, one thought going in, one thought going out. For us, we've got 600 thoughts going in and one going out. And that's why we get classed as the naughty kids at school, because literally our brain can't keep up. And that's why we get the fidgets, because it's almost like we're agitated because we're trying to take in all the numbers. We're trying to take in what the teacher's doing. We're trying to see what the weather's doing outside. And we can't keep up with it because our brains are actually programmed in a very, very different way. So it's good that we've finally got a good understanding. We've got the internet now, so we can kind of do our own research and figure out exactly what is ADHD. Was I the weird kid at school? No.
100%. I could not agree with you more. It is, yeah, no, you're absolutely bang on with that. But I really want to get to know a little bit about more like after school. Because am I correct in thinking you was doing hairdressing for a little while, which then led you to modelling? Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So obviously having an academic education, I suppose, Mum and Dad always said to me, you're very creative. I've always been extremely creative. I've always loved my sport. I've been creative. But Mum and Dad, the key thing was, when you grow up, we need something that you can do, you can be creative with. You've always loved, like doing hair and stuff like that. How about we put you into an apprenticeship and basically you start off as Saturday girl, then you go in and you start working as an apprenticeship, start learning and practicing your hairdressing, and then eventually you become a stylist. So I ended up doing my apprenticeship at Tony and Guy, which is obviously a fantastic franchise. The training there is very good. I did enjoy hairdressing. I loved the creative side of it, but I really, really struggled with my self-confidence. Whether or not that was down to my ADHD, whether or not that was down to personally not having much self-confidence because of my schooling days, I don't know. So as much as I enjoyed it, when it came to, my exams and then qualifying and then running my own column, I think, to be fair, a lot of this, again, has to do with ADHD. It was all way too much for me. And another thing with ADHD is we are a bit of a dreamer, aren't we? We like to dream. We like to be creative. And the salon that I was working in always had the TVs with like the latest music videos, MTV, all of that. And we did a lot of work with styling the models. So a lot of the time we'd have to commute into London, go and learn all new styling, like updos and cuts and colours. And I used to do that purely because I had to do it. And I used to do it and always think, I want to be the girl sitting in the chair. I don't want to be the one doing all this work and stressing out. And when someone comes in and says, they want their hair cut like this, but their face shape is wrong, it made me quite anxious and quite nervous. And therefore it gave me a real sort of lack of confidence in what I was doing. And because I was seeing more and more of the creative side of modelling and stuff like that, I would always come home and say to my mum, I don't like cutting hair. I hate being a creative stylist. I want to be the model. I want to be the girl sitting in the chair and getting my hair done, because that way your brain's not going at 600,000 miles an hour, is it? So Mum said to me, you've gone on and on and on about how you want to become a model. She said, you need to finish your exams first. We need to get something under your belt. So one day if you did get pregnant or whatever, you can provide for yourself, you can pay a mortgage, and you know that at the end of the day, everyone needs their hair cut and there's no robots coming in yet to cut your hair. So I did the handshake with Mum. I was like, all right, I finished my exams, done a little bit of, I started off of it as a stylist. And then I said, on my off days or when I finish a little bit earlier, I'm going to start looking at some modelling agencies. And Mum said, you've qualified now. You're free to go and do whatever you want to do. I just wanted you to get that qualification. So I started to basically go out, speak to a couple of agents, go and do interviews, stuff like that. And it was a bit of a journey, but to start with, I was freelance modelling. So I was doing like a lot of going into London, let's say there's like a new clothing line coming up, and it's just back to back, one outfit on, photo, one outfit off, makeup getting touched up, on, off, hours and hours and hours, and then you get paid, then you go home and enjoy your day. So I did enjoy it. I met some great people doing it. I definitely loved that a lot more than cutting hair. But I think for me, once I started modeling, I realized sort of the flip side. I think this is what a lot of people on the outside perceive, is that, oh my gosh, she's a model. That means she's beautiful. Well, hold on a minute. What does beautiful mean for like, anyone can be beautiful. And to me, it's like beauty's within. You don't have to be aesthetically beautiful. Some people like tall girls, some people like short girls. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? So
100%.
There was an awful lot of pressure that started to creep onto me the more sort of jobs I was getting. And my confidence at that point started to deteriorate. And, I had an agent once that said to me, you've got the height for a model for the runway and stuff like that. She said, but you're too big. And I was like, I go to the gym every day now. Like, this is my dream. I've always wanted to model. And she said to me, come back once you've lost 10 kilos. I mean, like, she's not asking me to lose 3 kilos here. She's asking me to lose 10 kilos. And if I'm going to be honest, Vish, like, I wasn't a massive girl. It kind of broke me because I always kind of had that battle with my weight. And I was in that era where you've got the editorial models who are extremely, extremely thin and brittle. And at that time, that was what beautiful was. And I didn't fit the category. So it really played a toll on my mental health at that point. And yeah, I learned a lot from that, and especially now I'm older and in the position that I'm in now as an athlete. Body confidence then was a massive facade. I was the least confident in my body, walking down that runway, getting my photo taken, working my angles and everything. But if you were to interview me out the back and say, gosh, you're a model, you must be so confident, my honest answer is no, I absolutely hate myself at the moment. So it was a scary place to kind of be in. And it's definitely something that I would like to say to like your audience, especially the younger generation. If, we're quite manipulated by social media these days. And I think recently it's been a lot about sort of like the touch-ups of sort of lip infills or Botox or hair extensions or eyelash extensions. And the girls that I mentor and do quite a bit of work with in my personal time, I just say to them, like, be natural, be you, learn to love yourself, be confident in your body, because there is no actual stereotype on what beautiful is. And you can be the most gorgeous looking woman, but if you've got a shit personality, you're the ugliest person on planet Earth. So for me, it's all about educating this younger generation. Stop looking at social media. Stop comparing yourself, because I know they all do it. They tell me, I'm looking at this girl on Instagram and why she got this and why she got that and why don't I look at that? And I say, girls, we're living in the age of the filter. The filter can do amazing things for us, but it's doing awful things for our mental health. So, right now, for me, it's like, because I've got that eye-opener with the modelling world, now obviously I'm a professional athlete and I'm boxing, and I would say I'm the most confident in my body right here, right now, with no makeup on, just come back from the gym, jumped in the shower, put my hair in a bun and pulled 2 little bits out the front. This is me, Kate McLaren, this is me, this is who I am. There's no filter, nothing.
Oh, I love it.
But to me, it's like I'm very, very scared of what is going on with social media and young women and young men's mental health, because they're all comparing and trying to be something that realistically, probably in the next few weeks, is going to all be AI. I saw something the other day and I said to my friend, do you think that's real? And it was a girl doing exercises. And my friend said to me, I think that's AI. And I said, isn't that scary? Because the young girls that I mentor, there's a girl I mentor called Belle, and it's young Belle that watches videos like that compares herself to those videos and then says, well, I want to look like that. And I'm here saying, that's not real. that's AI. That's made by computers. And you know, it's amazing what they're doing with AI right now, but it's also very scary. So it's a big eye opener. It's something that I really want to speak about because I know that social media, as incredible it is for us to be able to communicate and get the news straight up and everything, it's also very damaging to everyone's mental health.
You know what? I think you've touched on such an amazing topic there because just to start by saying, I think everyone is beautiful in their own specific way. And we're consistently trying to change that, ain't we? And social media has such a huge impact on especially younger people who are so comfortably influenced because they're taking in content all the time. Like it can be consistently hundreds of videos a day. And if they're seeing the same thing, it's such a dangerous place for anyone to be in, but especially the younger crowd. It's really, there should be more influencers out there who are more promoting that it's okay to be you and it's
Yeah.
healthy to be you. And you know, you losing 10 kg, God, that's
It's
mind blowing.
unhealthy is what it is,
It is
really. And it's damaging
absolutely.
on the mental health. But just to touch on what you were saying as well, Vish, like the young generation now, and including us, you know, people our age as well, the attention span is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's another very worrying factor. You know, I kind of look at that. The reels are getting shorter. The music that goes to the reels are getting shorter. You've only got 30 seconds on some of the pieces. And it's just like, how is anyone soon, like, let's say the generation coming through, like, obviously I struggled at school, but how are we going to have doctors and nurses and people that want to go and do, you know, like doctoral degrees, a 10-year degree, right? This younger generation, their attention span is so short, I don't see them lasting through a 10-year degree. And that's scary because, you know, our health system is collapsing already. But let's fast forward to 15, maybe even less than that, 10 years from now. What is our health system going to be like? Because what are we showing the next generation is the right thing to live life? You know, like, is AI going to take over and start doing all of our medicals for us? I could go on a massive sort of tangent on this, on, you know, how our nurses are not getting paid enough and, you know, we don't have enough benefits to really inspire these youngsters to take on a 10-year degree. But yeah, the world of social media, it's a very, very different world, that's for sure. And good and bad, but it's just going to be interesting to see in the next couple of years where we're going to end up, I guess.
Oh, I completely agree with you. It's such a scary place, especially with all the youngsters craving that attention of, you know, let's be an influencer, let's jump on YouTube or Instagram. And, you know, I don't think people quite realize actually if you're going to do that, it's a full-time job and you're exposing yourself to complete strangers on a consistent basis. And that's terrifying, especially, you know, if you're like 16 years old. That's really, really worrying. But we could talk about this
I
literally all
know.
day. But I want to
We
know. I
really
want to know a
could.
bit more about you. I want to know a bit more about you. And so I think, you know, from modelling, you kind of went to Australia. Was you 19 years old? Because you.
Yeah, I was 19 years old. I fell in love with an English boy. He told me he was going backpacking around Australia. And at the time, I was still working in hairdressing, doing a bit of modelling, and I was saving for a new car. Fast forward, you can guess what happened. I ended up going to Australia with him. We backpacked around Australia. We got a camper van and did the whole backpacking thing. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I'm just a girl from a small little village in Essex, you know. And I went to Australia and my God, I saw and experienced things that I didn't even know existed in the world. And I had the most amazing time. Again, for anyone watching, especially the younger generation, I really feel like travel is so beneficial to us for human growth. Like, for us to grow as a person, I think traveling is the best thing that you could possibly do, like learning about different cultures, meeting different people, tasting different foods, experiencing different things. And I fell head over heels in love with Australia. And yeah, I came back for a friend's wedding about 2 years later. And it did break my mum's heart when I said, "Oh, I'm going back home now, back to
Oh my
Australia."
God.
She goes, "You're not staying." And I said, "Oh, I'm going to just do a little bit longer. Fast forward 14 years. She's
14.
over the moon. I've finally come back.
My God, 14 years. And you've just
Yeah.
spent there for, how long was the initial trip going to be?
Oh,
Was
1
it
year holiday visa, just like a
really?
traveling visa. And then, yeah, we ended up getting work and going on sponsorship visas. And now I'm actually officially an Australian citizen. Yeah. Ironically, I got my passport 1 year before I decided to come home. I'd only waited
No way.
13 years for it.
And then you thought, oh, I'm gonna go back to the little town in
Yeah.
Essex.
If it wasn't for boxing and if it wasn't for my career, I more than likely 100% would still be there now. But the whole reason for the move and coming to the UK was for my career. And right now, it's definitely the best move I've made. But we'll talk about that more later on.
100%. Yeah, actually, funny enough, the next thing I really want to talk about is how did you get into boxing? Because that's a minefield in itself. You know, how did that happen?
I think that's a question that I get asked an awful lot, and I don't want to repeat myself too much on all of the interviews. December 2020, I went through a terrible, terrible time with my mental health. And I knew that the only thing to make me feel better would be to go back to training. Because like I said, I've always loved training. I've always been into my fitness and all of that. What happened was I basically hit a wall. And where I was in a really dark period of my life, you know, you've got two roads. You can either go down the road of self-destruction or the road of bettering yourself and trying to pick yourself up and carry on with life. And in all honesty, Vish, like to start with, I went down the road of self-destruction and didn't land me in a nice place. You know, I was drinking on my own every night. My mental health was absolutely shot to pieces. I'm in a country on the other side of the world. I've got no support system, no family. And I'm just drowning my sorrows in alcohol on my own. And it's getting a darker and darker place as time went on. And when I was in this point of my life, I didn't feel fit or well enough to go back to training. But then, luckily, I guess, there's only so much you can sort of drown your sorrows and drink yourself silly. And I woke up to myself and thought, I got to stop this. Like, I have to stop this because it's not going to end well if I carry on this way. And I'm so glad I had the courage to tell myself the only way that you're going to get better is to go back to the gym. And I think through making that right decision, picking myself up off the ground, taking myself to the gym, I then think an angel was looking over me. My coach, Jesse Sanchez from Legends Gym in Kensington in Australia, he gave me the talk that changed my life. And I went into the gym, I was ridiculously thin, I hadn't been eating, people didn't recognize me, I looked very, very unwell. And he basically said to me, like, how about we put you into a 12-week fight camp? And I always said, I don't want to fight. I was doing Muay Thai at the time. I switched to boxing. He gave me this inspirational talk that changed my entire life. And I said, do you know what? F it. Yep, put me in a 12-week camp. I'm going to have a fight. And that was the best thing I ever done, hands down, with my life. I went into this 12-week fight camp and it changed my life for the better. And I'm so, so grateful for Jesse giving me that talk that put me on the right path. And, you know, without getting put on that path by Jesse, I would never be in the situation where I am today. And I feel very blessed and very honoured to be in this situation in my life. So, yeah, it was a talk that changed my life that led me to boxing.
Wow. Like, I'm not going to dig deep into what happened because that's not fair for me to do so. But God, I've had to take a breather after that.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. My God, that sounds like whatever it is you went through to, I guess, to show people that they can hit rock bottom, and all it takes is one opportunity, I guess, and it can change your whole life around. So I guess a nice way to end that would be to go, never close the doors on anything, right? Never think that there's nothing out there for you, no matter how low you are, no matter how much you're struggling. There's always someone there willing to, I guess, give you a helping hand.
Definitely. And I mean, like, you've probably listened to some of my other interviews and that I'm big about talking about support systems. And for me, your support system is key. You become the 5 people you surround yourself with most. If you're hanging around with people that like to drink every night and write themselves off every night, that's what you're going to become. If you're hanging around with athletes that are eating well, you're training together, you've got good mental health with them, you're outdoors, you're getting that vitamin D, you're going to become a great human being, So really choose wisely on the people that you have around you, and just be cautious on, who's a real friend or a real support system. And, sometimes I've seen on my journey, some people like to just latch onto you because they think that they can then get something in return. So choose your friends wisely, and everyone will be okay. But a support system is essential to any human being. I think we all need to have a support system, someone we can turn to when, those dark days creep up on us, and we need someone to just help show us the light. So it's definitely important.
I completely agree with you. Like, you don't need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of friends. You
No.
just need a handful of good people to surround yourself with, and you'll be surprised at how much you can flourish with just those few people. And I think a lot of people, going back to social media now, is a lot of people think that, oh, I've got 1 million people who are following me, or even 1,000 people following you. Well, out of those people, who can you rely on? Who can you phone up at 10 o'clock at night and go, look, I've had a really bad day. I just need to blow some steam. Can you just have a chat with me? It's those handful of people in your life that will actually support you and actually inspire you to kind of move forward with things, and just, most importantly, listen to you.
Most definitely. And I do believe keep your friends close, your enemies closer. For example, my social media, I've got an okay following. I'm doing pretty well with my following, but my engagement and my interaction of the amount of people who like my stuff compared to the amount of people that look at my stories, a lot of the time doesn't add up. And I kind of am like, well, who's looking at my stories then? And a lot of the time I'm like, these people would never support me, would never encourage me, would never comment on my posts like, you're doing amazing, keep going, or whatever it might be. But yet they're always in my story views because they want to know, what's she up to? What's the next move? We don't want her to do better than us, or whatever it is. And that's not to say that everyone on my Instagram is a bad person. Not at all. I've got some phenomenal fans and support systems on there, 100%. But you just have to have your wits about you, and just be cautious again of like who you're surrounding yourself with, and who really genuinely wants the best for you and will support you when times get tough, and who just wants to see you fail, basically, or who wants to see you fail but then you make it to the top and then they say they supported you the whole way. So just be careful. Like, human beings are crazy creatures, but there's enough room at the top for all of us. There really is. And that's what I say about women in sport, women in boxing especially. There is enough room at the top for all of us. It doesn't have to be dog eat dog. It doesn't have to be calling each other out on social media and saying bad, negative things. Yeah. Let's rise together, girls. Like, we're struggling enough in this sport already. So let's embrace each other and help lift each other up, so that eventually we can close the pay gap in boxing, and women's sport will get more social media, or I read an article the other day where it said that women in sport only get, I think it was 15% of exposure through newspapers and magazines, and the rest is all men in sport. So we're not getting enough press time, we're not getting enough air time. And if we all stand together and help raise each other up, I really do believe that we can start to close the pay gap. We can start to turn heads and make people realize that we can do this. We can put on a good show. We can put bums in seats. We can sell out stadiums. You know why? Because we're fucking good at what we do, and we believe in ourselves, and we're all here for each other. We're not trying to cut anyone or say bad things about anyone. We're all here. We're a family. We're all got one dream that we're all chasing. And it's hard, man. Whatever you're doing with your life, whether it be sport, whether it be you're a doctor or whatever it is, there is enough room at the top for all of us. End of story.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think it's absolutely important that, not just in sport, I think in everything, that we're, both men and women are inspired to reach their full potential consistently, and we need to support one another a hell of a lot more. And actually, I've been thinking about this quite a lot. And for you, you're obviously in the boxing industry. Now, let's say I've got a niece, or I don't know, maybe one day in the future, a daughter. How do I encourage her to kind of, you know, go into an industry that, I guess, it's not common, is
Very
it?
male dominant.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
common. So how would you, as a guy, how could I support the women in my life, even if they're friends or whatever it is? How
Yeah.
can I support them to go, no, pursue your goals, pursue your vision, go chase your dreams, go, how can I do that? Like, what can I do as a guy to support this?
I think, first of all, that's a great question. And a lot of men should be more open to this. I think the most important thing is the understanding of the why. So why is it, for example, your daughter, let's say, for example, your daughter wanted to become a boxer. Obviously, she's daddy's girl. Daddy doesn't want to see her getting punched in the face, but it's what she really and truly wants to do. And it's very similar with what my mum did with myself and my modelling career. She kind of got that foundation of, okay, well, she's now qualified in hairdressing. She can make money anywhere in the world at any time. People always need their hair cut, but her dream is to be a model. She didn't say, no, you can never be a model. We don't want you to do that. She asked me why I wanted to be a model. And then she obviously made sure that I was set up with my hairdressing and completed that. And then as soon as I'd done that part, and obviously she made me do that for my best interest, for my security, financial security net in life as an adult. But once I'd completed that, she said to me, go chase your dreams. If you want me to help, come to meetings with you, if you want me to help make you food, because obviously you need to be careful of like what you're eating, etc. She said, that's fine. But my mum always taught me, stay humble, like never ever get an arrogance or an ego. Always, always stay humble. And I forever will hold that with me. Like I want to continue to stay humble my whole life. But the why is really, really important. Why does your daughter want to box? Okay, now we know the why. How about we start showing her some influential but inspirational people, women in the circle that are doing this for a career, that can really help to, I guess, keep your daughter grounded, but yet inspire her that although this is a very male dominant sport, you can do it. Because look at these amazing role models that have already paved the way, and you can be just like them, if not better. But again, it's about just supporting the person through the journey. No one on planet Earth wants to be told, you can't do that. Well, you're not good enough to do that. Well, why do you think you can do that? Impossible. You can't do that. No, how about I'll support you the whole way. Give it a go. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you know what? You've tried it. You've given it 110%. And unfortunately, we didn't get to where we wanted to be. So maybe if plan A doesn't work, let's now try and attack plan B. But support, again, it's my favourite, key, most important word, support. If we can all support each other and encourage each other, the world's going to be a better place. Look at the guy that invented the light bulb. I bet he didn't have people going, you want to make this imaginary thing called a light bulb? You're crazy. You're off your head. Same with the aeroplane. It is crazy. It is mind blowing. It is nuts. But look now, like we can travel the entire world in an aeroplane. So no one knows like what can happen when someone reaches their goal. Amazing, amazing things can happen. So whatever someone's goal is in life, male or female, from the bottom of my heart, just support them, encourage them the whole way. And if it works, phenomenal, incredible. If it doesn't work, don't worry. Let's go on to plan B. You tried, right? That's my
Absolutely.
advice.
That's really interesting. And I guess you're right. I guess we only set limitations because I guess as a guy, and let's say hypothetically it is my daughter, I'm open about it. I'll be terrified. I really, really would be terrified. Can you to see my daughter coming home with a bruise around her face, or, you know, it'd break my heart. But you're absolutely right. It's not my place to go, no, it's my place to go, right, give it your best shot. I'm going to stand
Yeah.
behind you the whole way. And if you do come home with a bruise, I'll have an ice pack ready for you. You know, but
I think that's the best thing, Vish. And at the end of the day, we all know no risk, no reward.
yeah.
Same with the light bulbs, same with the aeroplanes, same with women boxing. It was ludicrous. You know, women you were not allowed to box back in the day.
Yeah.
And now we've got some incredible females up there doing amazing things for the sport, and no risk, no reward. And sometimes it is sacrifice and hard work, and seeing your baby girl with a bruise on her eye or an injury. Of course it's hard as a parent, of course. But, you know, when we first decided to get in an aeroplane for the first time, I'm pretty sure that was scary. You see what I mean? You can't crush people's dreams. You really can't.
No, you're absolutely spot on. And you know what? That actually makes me think, like, I'm so naive to what it feels like to be a woman in such a combat sport. So there's no better person to ask than you. And just to let you know, I just want to throw this out there. You are already one of those inspirational women in boxing that younger people are looking up to. And you know, it does take that one person to implement a change. And it's nice to see you're actually one of them. I genuinely mean that as well. It's, you know, your social media, I know you touched on it, but you've got a humongous following on Instagram. I see you post on LinkedIn as well. And it's so nice to see, because although you do have, you know, probably people who follow your stories just to be nosy, you've also got incredible people following you and supporting you. And that's, you know, you've created that. So you should be so proud of what you've already achieved. And we can definitely move on to what you want to achieve, but what you've already done is phenomenal. And you should, you know, it's just wow. It's genuinely amazing what you've done. You should be so proud of yourself.
A lot of it, I really believe, comes from the heart. You know, we touched on what my upbringing was like, and, you know, I struggled so much with my confidence, and then I struggled so much with, you know, body dysmorphia when I was modelling, and then I've struggled with eating disorders, and then I've struggled with my mental health again when I was over in Australia in 2020 before I found boxing. And so, you know, for me, I just want to help people, because if I didn't have the right people helping me at the times of need, who knows where I would be now, you know? So to help others and to inspire people in the right way is so important to me, and it's all I want to do. And it's like, of course I want to win a world title. I want to win a world title so bad. But it's not just for me. I want to win that world title because I want to show the young generation that you can do anything, but you're going to have to work hard at it. You are going to have to sacrifice things in life. You are going to have to work hard. And at times there's days where I'm like, I don't want to go train today. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I just want to lay in bed or relax or see a friend. And, you know, at the moment I'm cutting weight for my fight. I said to my mum, geez, I just want a slice of toast. That's all I want. But it's that sacrifice that gets you to where you need to be. And touching on social media again, it's like there's a lot of influencers out there that are earning huge, massive sums of money. I'm not putting anyone down here at all, but in my eyes, it's quick cash. You know, we're seeing a lot of athletes now that are doing their weigh-ins in lingerie and, you know, exposing a lot of their body parts because, you know, the clickbait is the less you've got on, the more you get paid. The more you get clicked, the more you get paid. And if you look at my profile, I'm just going to slug it out, Vish. I will literally just work and work and work and prove that you don't have to take items off or show more skin. Obviously, I'm sitting here in a sports bra and shorts right now, but you know what I mean? Like, I really want to set examples, and I feel like we are losing that with the new generation coming through. Like, you have to work hard. A lot of people nowadays are like, what's hard work? Everything's online. They don't go to an office. You know, you've got platforms out there where you can take a photo or whatever and get paid for it. We are going to lose the most important people in life if we continue this way. Like I said earlier, nurses, doctors, athletes, the Olympics, aviation, pilots, all of these people, if it's just easy to just take some items off, sell a few photos and be done with it, what are the kids going to want to do? They're going to want to do that. But what does that do for your self-esteem? What does that do for you as a person? Like the girls that I work with now, I'm like, girls, you're not going to get anywhere unless you work hard in life. So find out what it is you love doing, set a plan, execute that plan, and run at it. Run at it 100 miles an hour, because you can be something great and you can leave behind an amazing legacy, and you can be anyone that you want, but just inspire others and help others and just be a genuine nice person. And hey, hats off to all the women that are doing that. I don't have anything against them in that sense. It's just, for me as a person, when I think of young Belle and I look at her very much like a daughter, I want her to strive in life, and I want her to experience hardship and hard times, because they say that pressure makes diamonds, right? And I really do believe that. If we just get gifted everything and we live a very privileged life and it's very easy, very come and go, what are we learning? How are we growing? How are we developing? And like I said earlier, I keep going back to it because I'm so scared about it. Doctors, nurses, healthcare system, why would anyone want to do that if they can make a 6-figure salary on some other platform? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hard work, discipline, dedication, and yeah, there's going to be tears along the way. But girl, you fall off a horse, you just got to pick yourself back up and carry on, So that's 100%. My motto.
No, you know what? I completely get that, because we do live in a day and age now where you can make really, really quick money.
We're not trying to put anyone down or offend anyone. It's just, sometimes the easy option is not always the right option. And that's all I'm trying to say is, with the generation coming through, just sit there for one moment and think about it. When you're sick, you're going to want a good doctor that's gone to university for 10 years and it's been blood, sweat, tears, and they have not had it easy. But how grateful are you going to be once that doctor says, it's okay, I can fix you? Then people might understand why we're having this conversation about, we don't want the younger generation to just turn to quick, easy money. We want them to be going to university, be educating, be upskilling, being able to hold conversations. I've worked with different organisations over in Australia, and a lot of the kids that I'm working with, they don't even know how to have eye contact with you. They don't know how to engage in a conversation because they are in that era where it is this.
Yeah, literally.
It's scary. It's scary. Like, where's the line? Where do we draw a line here and say, this has got to stop, or we've got to restrict it somehow, or we need amazing, incredible women like Oprah Winfrey. I absolutely love her. She's one of my mentors and role models in my world, and she's an absolute powerhouse, and she's just so inspirational. And I believe that we just need more Oprah Winfreys around, and hopefully the young girls that I work with and mentor, inspire. I mean, like young Belle, God love her, she now wants to be a physio, but she's at the gym every single day. And she says to me, you're my role model. I want to be like you. And she trains. She goes to fight nights with a group of the guys and girls over at the gyms in Australia. She sends me pictures. She's got a great support system around her. She eats clean. She's got, great friends, like I said, and she's got a love for boxing and fitness. Prior to that, when I first met Belle in 2022, she was off the rails. She was a young girl off the rails doing silly things with her life. And thankfully, through boxing, through sport, through a good support system, she's now changing her life around. And that girl, she's going to do amazing things with her life. And I'm so proud of her. I really am. So,
that's amazing. And I think to touch on what we was talking about, I think it's really important to say it's the minority that are doing all the, quick wins.
Yes.
I do speak to a few young people myself, and I think the majority have got that whole thing inside them where they do want to work hard. But I think the really interesting thing is, again, I could be wrong here, but I feel like what they really care about is, the planet. They care about the environment. They care about, other things to what we cared about as a generation. And they've got such high ethics and morals. It's really, really nice, actually, because when you talk to them,
That's
you're like, oh
lovely.
my God, the passion they have for life. And when they find what they're really, really in love with, there's no stopping them. It's like, oh my God, where did this come from? It's like, who are you? It's like phenomenal. And it sounds like the young lady you train in Australia, she's exactly that. She's found her passion, she's found her hunger,
Yeah,
and she knows it's going to implement a positive change. And she's absolutely, what sounds like, she's absolutely flourishing now.
she really
And
is.
that's phenomenal. So it's really important to say the minority shouldn't take over the majority, because the majority, I do still believe, have got that work ethos, which is, yeah, phenomenal. Once they find what they love, God, it's hard to take a conversation away from it, and that's really, really nice. But coming back to you, because we keep. I want to know a bit more about you, and I want to know
No,
what
it's
it's been
lovely.
like. It is. It really. It's phenomenal listening to their passion when they talk, and it's like, wow, it ignites a fire in yourself, doesn't it? So when you hear that
It
much,
really
you're,
does.
you're like, oh my
It
God,
really does.
yes. It is really, really good. And I'd love to know. So, obviously, you're in the boxing industry, and was it a gentleman called Jeff Fenech? Is that right? Who
Jeff Fenech.
Fenech? That's the one. I could never say his name, to be fair. But I'd love
No,
to know
that's
what
fine.
impact he had on your life, and how he supported you, and where that went.
So, for those of you who don't know who Jeff Fenech is, he is a four-time world champion. He basically was a professional boxer. He retired in 2008, and he's now officially in the Hall of Fame. And I was blessed, I suppose, to be able to cross paths with Jeff and have an opportunity of a lifetime, which was to become Jeff Fenech's first ever female that he signed. And without Jeff, I would never be here today. I've got so many people in my timeline that without that one person telling me to kind of go here or do that or speak to that person, I never would be here now. But again, it goes back to how important the right people are in your life. Back to Jeff though. So Jeff, yeah, basically he's worked with a lot of professional boxers. So since he's retired, he works with a lot of professional boxers. He is quite old school in the way that he believes that the woman should never fight. It should always be the man doing the fighting, and women don't fight. But obviously, over time, women boxing is becoming more and more renowned. So he gave me an offer I just couldn't refuse. Just to rewind, so obviously he brought me on. I remember I told you how Jesse Sanchez put me into this 12-week boxing
Hmm.
camp. I'd done the 12-week boxing camp, but 3 weeks prior to the end, the fight, I crossed paths with Jeff, and he said, let me do some training and help you for this corporate contender fight. And I was like, oh my God, amazing. Okay. And so I went and done some training sessions with Jeff. I got to experience the rest of the team. So, training with professional athletes was something that I'd never done before. Obviously, I've been at a boxing gym and that, but never trained in an environment with professional athletes. And straight away, I just was like, this is the life I want to live. This is what I want to do. But in my head, I'm like, you work in recruitment, you know, again, self doubt, the voice is coming in. You're not going to be able to do this. But maybe if you work hard enough in here, he might see something in you that he's never seen
Hmm.
in any other female. And so basically, 3 weeks out from my fight, Jeff was helping train. Jeff was helping me with the cut weight. I was also doing a lot of work with the other boys in the team. Got to fight night. It was the best feeling of my life. Not just winning my corporate fight, but when I got my hand raised in the air, I looked around and it was a moment in my life that just I will never forget. And it was like I've won, but I haven't just won this boxing fight. It's more than that.
Yeah.
I've won my mental health back. and I feel good again. I feel human, and I feel happy, and I feel content, and I'll never ever forget that feeling. I don't know what happened after that night. Maybe a miracle listened to what I was saying. But I went back to recruitment after I won my corporate fight, and I got a phone call from Jeff, and he said to me, "Would you consider coming over the house at the weekend? I want to speak with you." And I was like, "Yeah, no problems." So I went over his house. His amazing wife, Susie, was there, and oh, God bless her heart. I love that family so much. I feel like the adopted daughter of that family now. But I'm in the kitchen, and Jeff says, "I've got a proposal for you." He said, "I've never ever seen a woman work to the standard of what you have been working. You've pushed yourself to limits." He said, can you box? Let's be realistic. Can you box? Not really. No, you're a crap boxer, if I'm going to be honest.
Oh,
He
wow.
said, but you have heart, and you are not afraid of hard work. And he said, I want to take you on, and I want to sign you as my first ever professional boxer. Would you consider quitting your job in recruitment, and I'll turn you into a professional athlete? And I was just like, pinch me. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Wow. What? And again, I think that's why I really drill in how important hard work is. You know, I worked so hard for this moment. I can't even explain to you like how hard I worked. And basically from that moment, I said, how does that work? What does that mean? I don't know how the boxing world really works, but I said, do you know what? No risk, no reward. Went into work on Monday, handed my notice in, worked my 2-week period. 2 weeks later, the following Monday, I'm literally training with the team. I'm part of Team Fenech, and that's when the journey as a professional athlete started. And
God.
it's just, I need to swear. It's fucking amazing. I love it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
The best thing. I couldn't think of any other word. I just had to get it out there. Like, I had to express how I really feel about it.
That's cool. That's completely
love it.
fine. Can
It's
I
the
ask
best.
you a question? Where is all this, like, where has it come from? You talk so passionately about hard work, hard work, hard work. Where is that, God, like, where is that energy come from? Where is that positivity come from?
I mean, like, my parents drilled it in me from a young age. From the age of 13, I was working in a pub washing dishes.
Wow.
And it wasn't because my mum and dad needed the £10 that I earned for the whole night shift. It was to show me hard work. And I remember, like, everything I've done with my upbringing, I would have to earn my money. And I'm so grateful that my parents did that with me. And the reason they done that with me was because I'm not from a privileged family. Like, I didn't grow up in an affluent family with a lot of money. You know, for us, money's always been quite tight. Mum and dad have only recently paid off their mortgage. They're in their 60s, you know, like, they've had to work hard. And they've always told me, you have to work hard in life. Nothing is just going to be handed to you on a silver platter. And I think because they've really drilled that into me, I've carried it the whole way. And I have to say, it's paid off. It's 100% paid off. Without hard work, I don't think you can honestly get anywhere. I mean, like, you might just have that one lucky moment, like, you know, with me, of being able to get in front of Jeff Fenech and show him, hey, I'm here to work. Whatever you say, I will do. You tell me to sprint to the top of that mountain 10 times. Yes, sir, I'm going to do it. And one thing that I always did with Jeff is whenever he told me, let's say he'd say 5 more, for example, if I was doing like the ski erg and I had to do 5 more pulls or something, I would always 100% make sure that it was 6 more. It was never 5. I'll always 1 more. Whatever the number was, we're doing 1 more. And that was something that he picked up on me straight away. He said, I could tell you to do 5. Most people would do 3 and say they've done 5. He said, but you will do 6. And he's like, that's a champion, you know? He said, that's the champion mindset that I'm looking for. And that again was my mum and dad, you know, when they've just said things to me my whole life, like, you got to work hard. You have to work hard. And yes, it's not been academic for me, but I knew I was not good at academic. So if I'm not good at academic, but yeah, I am good at, you know, physical, then let's show people that I'm good at sport. I can do this. And again, it comes down to mindset. I had that mindset that this training session could change my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been happy in any of my jobs. I'm always jumping from job to job because I hate working in the corporate world. I wasn't content in modelling. I've worked in shops, etc., etc. I was never truly happy until I became a professional athlete, and I can hand on heart say I am truly happy. I love, love, love getting up in the morning and going to work.
God, that sounds phenomenal. It really does. Like, you can hear it in your voice. That passion just screams out, doesn't it? It seems like your parents
Love
have done
it.
an exceptional job with you. And, I can actually definitely I get you, because I was only 13 and I was doing a paper round Monday to Sunday before school.
I had a paper round as well.
Did you really? So not only was you doing the dishes, you're doing a paper round as well. God,
Yeah.
blimey.
Yeah.
My God. And you know what? It's so true. When someone asks you to do one thing, there's no harm in doing that extra thing for them. And I think it's actually, it builds on your self-character, and absolutely phenomenal. But would you say boxing is your biggest achievement up to now?
Yes.
Really?
I think my biggest achievement is going to Australia,
Mhm.
because I grew so much as a person over there and I saw so much, and I just feel like it was such a great achievement for me to travel Australia and get a good understanding of different cultures and stuff like that. But also, my biggest achievement is 100% boxing. And there was so much self-doubt along the way, especially when I turned pro. I had no amateur career, and I remember that I got an awful lot of stick from people saying, well, she doesn't deserve to be there, she doesn't deserve to be signed by Jeff Fenech, she doesn't deserve to have her first fight on Fox Sports and KO, because she's never done an amateur career, like she's just been gifted this. And it was like, well, hold on, if you actually saw what I'm doing in the gym and the level that I'm going to try and prove myself, maybe you'd have a little bit of gratitude on why, these opportunities are arising for me. So,
It's that
yeah.
90% hard work, 10% luck. Everyone needs it. Let's face it.
Yes.
It's consistently going, consistently going, consistently going, and then something will just work. I don't know how it happens, but it always does, doesn't it? As in, just
Always.
it's
You
it's
just got to
just
have that
it's
self-belief. And, and, and,
100%.
and Jeff believed in me. Although he knew I hadn't been boxing since I was 7 years old, he saw something in me and he
Yeah.
believed in me, and he basically built that into me. He was like, you can do this and you will do this, and you're strong and you're capable and you're fit. You're going to outwork anyone, Katie. And when someone's telling you that, you're like, yeah, I am. Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. Yeah, I am.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, you've also got a fight coming up in September, haven't you? Is that right?
Yes, September
Yes.
the 7th.
Yeah.
It's my first UK debut. I am so
Wait.
excited. It's going to be live on DAZN. It's on the Top Tier show, fighting in Brentwood, Essex, and I can't wait. This camp's been phenomenal. My team here in the UK is, oh my God, they're wicked. I absolutely love them. And I'm
Wow.
so pumped to put on an amazing performance for my UK debut, and to have my family and friends that have never seen me fight, they're supporting the night. Yeah, bring it on. Can't wait.
That sounds intense. And also, if you don't mind sharing a little secret of your workout regime, because I know we've been talking for the last couple of weeks, and what you're doing is, I think you do more in a week than I've done this year, and it's phenomenal. Is it possible to share a bit of that with us?
Yeah, of course. Well, currently at the moment, my training's actually gone up a bit since we
Oh
spoke
my
2
God.
weeks ago about it. Yeah, so I'm training every day. I start my day at 10 a.m. We normally finish around 12:31. And then we stretch, cool down, etc. And then I come home, I refuel, have some food, and then at the moment, because my training intensity is so high, I'm having a nap. So then I nap for about an hour and a half, and then at 6 o'clock or 6 p.m. I go and do my second training session. So I'm working with my strength and conditioning coach 3 evenings a week. So it's 2 evenings a week and a Saturday morning. And the rest of the time I will do something by myself, that might be a run, or that might be that I'll go to a gym down the road and I'll do another weight session, or any sort of conditioning like the assault bike, skier, etc. So all up, I'm training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings, Sunday's my rest day. But then I'm training about 4 evenings as well in the week, 4 to 5 evenings. So yeah, the intensity's gone up, but I have to say the fitness has gone up. My sparring's been great, been getting some solid rounds in, and everyone's like, oh damn, she's fit. And I'm like, yep, even the whoop's telling me that my heart rate's low. So my fitness is climbing, but there's no better feeling. And for anyone else that is out there and that is listening and might just be struggling for that first little push to kind of go to the gym. When I came over here from Australia, obviously I'd had a bit of time out of trainings, had no fights booked in, nothing. I was just trying to get settled in here. But I had a bit of time off. I was out eating out a lot. I was having a few drinks here and there. And my fitness, literally, if you don't use it, you lose it. It goes. So my fitness really declined. And the first week and a half in the gym, I was struggling. I mean, we've got jet lag on top of this as well. But it was so hard. And I was at a point where I thought, I'm never going to get my fitness back. We just go back to what I always keep talking about, is just keep going, keep training. And fast forward, I think I've been back almost 8 weeks now. I have to work it out, but let's say 6 to 8 weeks I've been back, and I'm probably the fittest that I've ever been in my career. I've got all the right training, I've got the right coaching, I've got the right team around me, and I'm feeling really fit. So it's not like I'm just sitting here saying, oh yeah, I'm blessed and I just feel fit because all I do is go to the gym every day. That's not what I'm saying. I have days where I struggle. I have days when my body's so sore that I do not want to go on a 10K run or go to the gym and train. But I keep pushing. I keep working hard. And in good time, your fitness comes up and your strength, you start to get stronger and you start to feel more confident again. So for anyone who is listening on this podcast, if you're struggling to just take that first step to the gym, just do it. Just do it. Go today, go tomorrow, go the next day. Fast forward a week, 2 weeks from now, you're going to be so happy you've done it. So that's just my little piece of advice.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to take your advice on board. I seem to be paying for a gym membership. Let's not talk about how many times I've been to that. I don't actually remember walking into it.
You're not the only one.
No, but your advice is you're absolutely bang on. All it takes is that first step. All it really takes that first step, and soon it will, kind of shape itself, and you'll have a routine, and it's kind of like second nature, isn't it? You'll just be like, oh, I'm going to the gym, not, oh, I have to go to the gym.
Yeah. And routine is key, if you're working in a 9 till 5, if you can say to yourself 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to the gym. Set your alarm at 6 o'clock or whatever when you finish work. I wouldn't even go home and shower. I would literally just go straight to the gym, take your kit, go to the gym, get it done. And like I say, a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks from now, you go, oh my God, I'm starting to see results. I mentally feel great. This is the best thing I've done. But you have to hold yourself accountable. It's up to you to get yourself to the gym. There's no magic Aladdin's magic carpet or anything taking you to the gym. You got to get up and you got to take yourself to the gym. I promise you, 2-3 weeks from now, you will thank yourself.
I love it. Absolutely. No, 100%. As I said, I think I'm going to be the first one to take your advice on board, because I definitely need to start hitting the gym. I need to start doing some sort of exercise, because it's so easily forgotten about, isn't it? You come home after a day's work and you're like, oh, I just want to sit here and chill and watch Netflix. But no, you're absolutely right. I should be doing something so much more productive. So you've definitely inspired me.
The first bit's the hardest. You'll be fine.
Isn't it? Yeah, 100%.
It really is.
But a couple more things before we can we can. One was, where do we buy tickets to, or are you sold out, or where can we buy tickets for your fight?
No, still got tickets. What I'm saying is, best thing to do is just send me a DM and I can get them sent to you. Okay. I'm pretty sure they also sell them on the top tier website as well. But on Instagram or Facebook, just shoot me a message and I'll show you either the best place to get them, or I can send some to you because I've got tickets here as well. So just reach out, and anyone that wanted to come and support, it's going to be a great night. It's a big show. I think there's 11 or 12 fights on this night. yeah, there's going to be all the screens, the big walkouts, the music. It's going to be
Wow,
awesome. It's going to be
that
really good. And
sounds it.
obviously it's televised as well. So yeah, it'll be wicked. I can't wait.
God, that sounds amazing. But there's actually something else you do as well, isn't it? It's your foundation. So, along everything else you're doing at the exact same time, you've also got a foundation in Australia where you're supporting young people, well, young women actually, to be precise. And before we kind of end this podcast, I'd love to know just a little bit more about that, because I think personally, I think it's just another phenomenal thing you're doing in helping people. So if you're comfortable sharing a bit more about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Would love to. Thank you. Yeah, so in 2022, I founded It's Her Foundation, which is a not-for-profit charity which helps to support young females from disadvantaged communities. So in Australia, we were working with different organisations that basically help to support young females. It might be, ladies that are at risk of homelessness or any type of support. So we were working with a lot of different organisations that already had sort of the clientele for us to go in and work with. The pillars of the charity is based around movement, mindset and motivation. So when we go in and run programs, the programs that we've designed are basically to do with those sort of three pillars. And predominantly the first one is boxing. So movement, we're going in, we're running boxing programs, we're building confidence with the girls through boxing, we're helping their mental health and bringing up the good endorphins by getting the girls moving, getting them interacting and helping them to feel like empowered and strong through boxing. And we're seeing some incredible sort of turnarounds from the ladies. So that's great news. So after movement, we've got mindset. So what we do then is we go through normally a guided meditation. So it will be something to do with, anything really, like, mental, like helping your mental health or relaxation, achieving your goals, something motivational where we basically spend a bit of time laying out on the mats, blanket on, listening to the meditation and going through that guided meditation. So we've got movement, mindset and motivation. So that was your mindset one. And then the last one is mindset, motivation. So I'm like, I need coffee. Motivation is basically at the end of every class, we do open circle work. Normally our programs will run in like a 10-week block, and each week we'll have a different topic. So for example, let's say week 1, we speak about anxiety. So at the end of our program, we'll all sit in a circle and we'll basically go through the circle, all speaking about different experiences that we've had with anxiety, ways that we've overcome the anxiety, and basically just sharing amongst the circle that anyone here who's suffered from anxiety is not alone, and some people feel these panics or feel these anxiety attacks, and for young women, they don't know exactly what it is. What is that emotion that they're feeling? So when we're touching on each topic every week, we're trying to explain and educate them what anxiety is, how we can deal with anxiety. You're not alone. Other people in this circle have had anxiety, and how basically we can overcome it together. So that's pretty much what the programs look like. They've been very successful. We've had great feedback, and we've seen a lot of young women doing amazing things with their life and feeling a lot more motivated through the programs and through boxing. And I'm looking to bring the charity over here to the UK, but it's a big process. Obviously, I'm very active with my fight career over here at the moment, but I think once things settle a little bit for me, I will definitely get in touch with the legal team and try and really sit down and see if I can get It's Her Foundation up and running in the UK as well. Because like I say, I just want to help young females. I want to inspire and I want to make them all feel good and take them away from their phones for a few hours and interact with each other. Yeah, fingers crossed we can get it over here. But very proud of the charity, and I'd love to just see it grow, and I'd love to see, it help so many young females out there. So,
Gosh,
thank you.
you are an incredible woman. Honestly, the amount you've achieved,
Thanks.
the journey of life you've been through, it's just, God, it's phenomenal. Honestly, I don't know. There's not many people who can say they've achieved as much as you've achieved and you're nowhere near even coming to completion. So it just shows that no matter what you've been through in life, no matter what you've been through, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And like you've said so many times, hard work, consistency, and perseverance, and going a little bit more than you have to go will get you to where you want to get to. But you're an incredible person. Like, I can't believe how much you've achieved, and I definitely want to come down on the 7th and watch you knock someone out. That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, thank you so much. I'd love to have you there. That would be absolutely amazing.
Definitely.
Thank you for that.
100%.
I've just got a question for you, because obviously I know off of the camera when we've been speaking and that, so obviously you've got your company now, and just for anyone listening, I just want you to have a turn in sharing what you're trying to do and what your achievements are, and just trying to give people a bit more of a better understanding. So give us a little bit of a rundown on Onward Shift and what you're trying to do, because you're over here telling me I'm an amazing person, but let's just have a little look at you for a second. You're doing incredible things.
Honestly, I'm not personally doing anything. I'm just the person who's, I don't know, had a vision. But it's the people the coaches I have working for me, they're exceptional, they're fantastic. And the support I get from, friends, family, it's them who are encouraging me to, carry on. It's all them. It's nothing on me. Honestly, I'm nothing special. It's those who
You're a very humble man.
No, far from it. No, but no, honestly, it's everyone else. This Onward Shift is all about implementing a positive change and helping people. And to be fair, that's all I can. Making £1 million isn't really something in my mind anymore. It's helping 1 million people. And even people like you've taken the time out to come on the podcast, and you've given me your time, especially with what you've told me, how you're busy your routine is. It's like it's you guys who are supporting, kind of reach out to more people and help more people. So honestly, it's everyone else. I'm just plodding along. I really am. So no, thank you.
You're doing amazing. It's an amazing platform that you're doing. You're going to do great things, and I'm more than happy to be a part of this. I'm honoured to be a part of this, and if there's anything I can do to help, let me know anytime. Honestly, I love your work.
No, honestly, likewise, and thank you so much. You're an incredible person, and I'm genuinely excited to see how much you smash it out there. I'll be one of your cheerleaders, but
no pressure.
No, you don't need it. You're all good. You're all good.
I'm excited. I'm really excited, and thank you so much for your time having me on the podcast today. I'm very grateful.
No, honestly, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
No worries. We'll talk soon. Yeah.
100%. Catch you later.
All right. See you, Vish. Thank you.